Next up, as I said, a congressman, an elected representative who knows a thing or two about health care, because not only has he done a splendid job in representing Georgia's 11th congressional district, but of course, he's also an OBGYN from Marietta, Georgia. He's co-chair of the House Republican Physician Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming U.S. Congressman Phil Gingrey. Dr. Gingrey.
Thank you so much. Scott, thank you so much, and thank each and every one of you for being here today on a beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon. God has given us the beautiful weather, and the rain's going to hold off until tomorrow. What a fitting opportunity for us to come together with our voices, raising our voices, letting the folks in Washington know, particularly when they're debating right now on the Senate floor, getting ready for, I think, an 8 p.m. vote on cloture. I was talking to Scott Barber just a few minutes ago, and you'll be hearing from him in a little while, and he may want to comment on this as well. But I'm predicting that they, unfortunately, will get their 60 votes to proceed. And let's hear it. Now, that 60th vote will come from the gentlewoman from Louisiana named Mary Landrieu, who has been saying all along, but it just so happens that you read description of health care reform is $100 million for the state of Louisiana. Now, I don't think anybody here, any of the Doctors for Patient Care group, any of the Tea Party Patriots, any of the Freedom First, any of the America for Patients, all of you, you know how to connect the dots. I guess back at the end of July, it seems like an eternity ago, I'm a member of the Energy and Commerce Committee, and I was very concerned, as all of you are, all of the physicians, all of their patients, about rationing of care and about government bureaucrats literally coming between you and your physician in the darn examining room. And when it gets right down to it, when you look at these sections of the bill that describe Comparative Effectiveness Research Council and Health Choices Administrator, and you realize that there are 121 additional bureaucratic czars, sounds like Russia, doesn't it, created by this monstrosity of a bill. And we put an amendment and said, none of these bureaucrats can make any decision to ration care based on cost. Well, when members had to raise their hand, yea or nay on that, well, by voice vote in the Energy and Commerce markup on July the 30th, they all voted yes. All the Democrats voted yes for my amendment. But very conveniently, 3 weeks later, when Madam Pelosi, Speaker Pelosi, took the bill with the other two versions in the House, not just my amendment, but 15 other Republican amendments were very conveniently removed from the bill so that they could do their bureaucratic rationing based on cost. Now, if you don't believe it, how about this U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, a committee of about 15, some physicians, yes, but I don't know how many of them have ever spent a day practicing clinical medicine, made a decision that women could no longer get a routine screening mammogram during their 40s. And they also went further to say that they don't recommend anymore that doctors instruct, or their nurses instruct their patients on the value and the technique of breast self-examination. Now, let me just tell you, there are women members of the House of Representatives, indeed even a Democrat or two, who have suffered in their early 40s and are suffering right now from breast cancer, and they have little toddler children under the age of 5, and I see those members walking down the corridor of the House office buildings, and I think, thank God you had that routine screening mammogram, or you did that breast self-examination, and you got that early detection, and you're going to be alive to see your children go off to college and get married and have grandchildren that you can love one of these days, just like you love your own children. Amen. Amen. And yet this bureaucratic committee made this decision that it would, and then they went on and said, and I think Secretary Sebelius said this, well, you know, doctors can still order a mammogram for their patients in their 40s, and they can spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour instructing their patients on breast self-examination, probably use a little model to instruct. But guess what? That mammogram would not be paid for. That time that doctor spent with those patients instructing them on breast self-examination would not be paid for. And the doctor might order that test, but when the patient goes and finds out it's going to cost her $175, she's going to put it off. And she's not going to come back maybe for 5 years. And at that point, because she hasn't been doing the breast self-examination, she's going to have a golf ball-sized lump in her breast with metastasis to the lymph nodes. And her 5-year survival rate is not going to be 95%. It's going to be 5%. And that's the kind of stuff that we see coming out of Great Britain because they deny care. And that's not what we want for America. We do not want the government to take over our health care system because of you. We're going to stop it. We are going to stop it, and we're going to kill it dead. You keep up your great work. We love you. God bless you, and God bless America.